First impressions make and break a career. I can't be one to talk about this though, since my first countdown is My point for bringing this up is that video games are no different. The first level in a video game can determine whether some people want to continue or not. While some games don't have the best first level but still turn out to be awesome, which makes me sad when people won't give it a chance, there are tons of awesome first levels in gaming, so I decided that I'd share with you all my favorites. Now, rules for this list. What qualifies as a first level? For platformers, the first level, RPGs, the first dungeon, and fighting games, the first boss or major battle. Still with me? Alright, enough with this intro, let's start this thing! Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure is a fantastic rhythm game. They could have started with anything really, but they wanted to do something simpler. Basically a copy-me game. Like Simon Says? I always hated Simon Says. Anyways, the two Shadow Phantoms, I guess, will do a move, and you do the same thing to the beat. Simple and fun. The music is very catchy, the level isn't too hard, and it gets faster and faster, making the level harder and harder. The level isn't complex at all, but it's so dang addicting and downright fun. Also, the fantastic music playing with it probably added to the fun. But it's a rhythm game, so that's a necessity. When I first got the demo to this game, I would play the same level for hours and hours, which is kinda sad actually. A great way to start a great game. The first level of Kid Icarus Uprising. Now this game had a lot to live up to. After years and years of waiting for Pit to start another game, how would they kick things off for the first level? Well, it starts off with a flying segment showing that's how every level would start. Well, at least most of them. The enemies showing up, the awesome dialogue with the characters, and the music going with the fantastic level were all phenomenal. Also, there were some really good looking clouds and whoa, Medusa! It explained the main idea of the story while providing some entertaining action. Then you hit the ground, showing the second half of the game. Palutena would tell you the basic control, you destroy enemies, collect treasure, and find some secrets of the game. The level wasn't that long, but it was a good size. Along the way you'd see a door with a skull and the number 5 on it. To get inside this door you'd have to replay the level at a difficulty 5 or higher, making you want to replay the level again. But let's be honest, all the levels are worth replaying in this game. Then you'd get to the boss, which was a great choice to be the first boss of the game. It was fast, strong, and you learned some good strategy to fighting. The level is frantic, fun, explains the story while keeping the action alive, and teaches you how to play the game in a great way. I didn't mind replaying this level again and again, just trying to beat it on 9. Seriously, screw Intensity 9. Tales of Symphonia is an absolutely epic story with fantastic dungeons to boot. So how do they start off this tale? Get it? Because the game is called Tales of Symphonia. I'm so sorry about that. So how do they start off? Pretty cool actually. As Lloyd, Genus, and Colette, you head off to the Martel Temple to regenerate the planet. Colette is the chosen, and as such it's her job to do so. As many cutscenes play, a lot of stuff goes down, and a lot of the game's plot is set out, with you wanting some answers fast. I don't really want to explain because let me just say, this game has an amazing story. Don't give me that look, just buy the game. Although with those Amazon prices, I can understand. Oh wait, those prices aren't so bad. Kinda ruins my joke. Huh. Anyways, after the cutscenes, you find a couple of the designs. Just a couple of goons and nothing too special, but then the big boy comes out to play. Soon enough, the characters aren't doing too hot and it looks like he's about to finish you off. But let's be honest, this is the beginning of the game. We all knew they weren't gonna die. Then one of the coolest freaking Tales of characters makes one of the greatest entrances ever. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Kratos. Guys, if you've ever laid eyes on this character, you know exactly why he's a fan favorite character. When I make my top 10 favorite Tales of characters, you know, whenever that happens, this guy is going to be on it. Even if I'll have to extend it beyond 10. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, the Martel Temple. After he buys you some time to get back on your feet, he joins your team and you finally have a team of 4 to take on a tough opponent. This is one of the level's strongest moments, showing you how 4-player mode works with this game. After the fight and Lloyd and Kratos' epic rivalry starting off, you head into the dungeon, find out about how the Sorcerer's Ring works, and do a bit of interesting puzzle solving. Finally, you make it to the top and restore the first temple. I like how much this level introduces. It shows how awesome the characters are, introduces one of the game's main dungeon features, the Sorcerer's Ring, and it introduces this game's puzzles. Also, the music that plays in this dungeon is freaking awesome and memorable as crap. Just like the rest of this game's soundtrack. I think you get the point. When this game started, they started it dang right. Kirby. He's the name you should know. Sorry, let's not bring back that show. I actually kinda like that show. Kirby's most recent game, oh wait, Triple Deluxe came out. Still haven't played that yet. And Kirby's return to Dreamland, the first level called Cookie Country, was a nice introduction to the game. The game shows its colorful graphics and creative enemies. It shows all the basic controls, some of the standard but fun copy abilities, and even lets you go underground for a little bit. It was all simple fun and I enjoyed it. Then it introduced you to the super abilities. Look, I never got to talk about these in my top 10 favorite Kirby copy abilities, but these are so freaking cool. My favorite is easily the sword super ability, and good for me that the first level lets you use it. You'll be slashing through giant landscapes and mowing down enemies like freaking Dynasty Warriors. You go from colorful happy forest friends to Sword Kirby destroying a huge chunk of the evil army. But it gets even better when you make it to the Star Portal, and I say when you make it because it's way too easy. You'll be transported to the Interdimension. Dang, just writing this script is making me realize how much this level really has. This is yet another addition to this game that you'll be seeing a lot, and that the level introduces very well. Once you get through that fun platforming section, you'll fight the Spear Doomer, get the rest of the orbs, and finally finish the level. Phew! That's actually a lot to soak in for a Kirby game. I'm dead serious. The level teaches you how to play, introduces the new additions to the game, and forces you to learn how to use them to your advantage, which is what any good first level should do. And most of all, it was all a blast to play, especially with 4 players. A fantastic start to a fantastic game. Kingdom Hearts worlds. Hey, you wanna hear me talk about them? Look at my last countdown. But if there's one world that I'm getting freaking sick of, it's Traverse Town. It started off fine in Kingdom Hearts, but nothing special. Then it showed up again, and 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 okay, you get the point. You visit this world so many freaking times, and even come back in other games, and frankly, I'm sick of the same level with the same music that somehow gets worse in every new game it gets in. Seriously, Square Enix, either add new areas, or make the music better, or just stop making us come back to this dang place. Oh hey, Dream Drop Distance. Kingdom Hearts 3D is one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games for many reasons, and when they revisit some of the worlds, at first I was a bit suspicious, but they made them better. This world is no exception. First off, the music! Finally! No longer the same old freaking song, but a remix, and a phenomenal one at that. Peaceful, relaxing, and miles better than the original that I got freaking sick of. Also, the level teaches you all the new tricks of the game. It shows you how to use flow motion and reality shift in the best ways possible. Speaking of flow motion, it's like this level was designed for it, making the level a lot better. The level design was also very well, making it not too hard to follow, teaching you different things, and also providing secrets and all that good stuff. Also, the boss was pretty awesome and taught you how to think about finding an enemy the best way possible. This level has everything a great first level should, while also improving on the original by providing different areas and doing an overall better job as a first level. If that's not enough for you, well, there's always Destiny Islands. Too soon? Beat-em-ups have some average first levels, but usually they're nothing special. But I've gotta say, Scott Pilgrim's first level has a lot that makes it really shine. Snowy Toronto is an absolute joy to play, and when I got the demo, I loved replaying this level over and over again. Alright, you guys don't care. You just want to know why this is such a great first level. The level really shows off the retro graphics and how freaking good they are in this game, and as soon as the music starts, you know you're in for something special. The game throws a couple of enemies at you, letting you experiment with the combos, but soon enough it'll show you that this game likes throwing a surprise army of enemies, with a bunch of them coming out of freaking nowhere, and some coming out of a bus of all things. Yeah, the wackiness is shown a lot in this level. This level proves how weird the game is, but honestly, it's stuff like this that makes us love Scott Pilgrim so much. There was also a secret subspace road with giant flying piggy banks that give you Canadian money. What? Then it introduces the shopping system in the game, giving you a ton of options to get the items you want. There was even a hidden shop thrown in there just for the heck of it. A couple of wacky and insane battles later, you're thrown onto another subspace road. Finally, you get to fight the first of Ramona's 7 evil ex-boyfriends. I mean, 7 evil exes. Sorry, it slipped. The fight is a lot of fun, and like the rest of the game, it's very weird, but dang, I love it! Then you beat this guy with that lovely sound. Oh man, that never gets old. The level teaches you all the bells and whistles of this game, throws in a couple of secrets, and a fun and creative boss battle at the end. Sounds like an awesome level to me, and after all the times I've replayed it, I think it should be on the list. Guys, this battle is probably one of the biggest reasons I wanted to make this list. But first, you might be wondering, this isn't a level, it's a boss battle. This shouldn't be on the list. Well, to that, I say this. The game is a fighting game, so there aren't going to be levels in it just fighting. This is the first fight, and by first fight, I mean first real fight. Seriously, if you guys count Sakura as an actual battle, I just can't agree with you. But anyways, time for me to finally talk about this awesome boss battle. The fight is Naruto and Sakura versus their sensei, and the man that taught them nearly everything, Kakashi. This is Naruto's first battle after returning to the Hidden Leaf Village, so Kakashi wants to see just how much Jiraiya taught him after all those years. The fight starts off normal, showing you how an enemy would react when you try to combo them. But the bosses in Naruto games aren't epic for nothing, because Kakashi introduces the quick time events and how amazing the visuals are in them. It's simple and you shouldn't have too much trouble because, well, you're just trying to learn the controls. Also, before we move on, the music is fast-paced and glorious. The fight is all fun, but after the quick time event, the bosses in the game throw a curveball at you. Kakashi, as the first boss, is no different. You're thrown into some weird waterfall fountain place and the battle goes on. Kakashi will still try to attack you, but with his trademark lightning blade. And though Sasuke's Chidori is more or less the same thing. He can electrocute the water and stun you if you touch it. While Kakashi is on the cliff, you can actually call Sakura as an assist to knock him down and give you an opening to attack, showing you how useful assists are and that you should use them at the right times. Then at the final quick time event, the stakes raise, the visuals are gorgeous, and the game shows you the secret factory if you get all the stars, showing that he's seen how much the two of them have grown over the years, and they finally get those bells. Not only is the fight epic, fun, and explains all the stuff that the game has to offer, but there's a lot of symbolism and it shows just how far the characters have come in the series. I love this boss so much for how fun it is and how meaningful it is to Naruto fans around the world. A fantastic start to this game, and I'm so glad I got to talk about it. But if you still think this doesn't count as a first level, give me number 3, give me number 3! It's Mega Man. When it comes to first levels, well, there usually aren't any. Sure, you start somewhere, but everyone can start somewhere else. But soon as the series evolved, things changed. Before they gave you the 8 Robot Masters to choose from, but soon enough they would give you an intro stage to kick off the adventure. And without a doubt, the most popular and my favorite is Central Highway from Mega Man X. Guys, the most critiquest critics, that's a word now, can't deny how masterful this level is to start off a game as awesome as Mega Man X. First off, the setting. This game is the beginning of an end-of-the-world scenario type thing. That probably made little to no sense, but hear me out. There are dozens of cars driving the opposite direction you're running towards, and soon enough you see why. Giant robots trying to kill you, and you're one of the only people, or robots, that can stand against them. The level throws a bunch of enemies that show you how much this game isn't messing around and makes you learn how to react and defend for yourself. Also, when the ground crumbles, which it will, the level forces you to wall kick, one of the main factors of the game. As you can already tell, the level teaches you how to play the game, while also letting you have a great time with the fantastic setting and the butt-kicking music. The only real problem making me not want to put it any higher is how linear this level really is. But that's not too much of a problem, because you'll be having too much fun to care. Soon enough, you'll be running from giant airships throwing up spike cars at you, and when you finally get to the end, you're introduced to ex-rival in the series, and a fan-favorite character, for me anyways, Vile. I love this character so much, but sadly you're forced to lose the boss battle, which is another thing I don't really like about the level. But soon, when it seems like your fun's over, another badass Hog character comes in to save the day, Zero. The level ends with a bunch of dialogue from the characters that shows how the game is more story-based than the original series, and then you're finally thrown into the rest of the game. The level is fantastic, fun, and is just crazy, but I love it! It's a great way to start any Mega Man game. Started the Blue Blur's fantastic career. But the first level, Green Hill, is a fan favorite. There are many renditions of this level, but I really prefer the original. After all the years of replaying the original Sonic the Hedgehog, it just kinda grew on me. The level has a lot of bright and vibrant colors with happy music that just shows how awesome the Sega Genesis was. The level layout was designed to teach you the basics of Sonic and how different he was from other platformers. The level makes you roll into a ball to gain speed. It lets you go on iconic loop-de-loops, and trust me, there are a ton of rings. There are also a ton of different ways to beat the level, with high paths, lower areas with lots of rolling, my personal favorite way, and the list goes on and on. The level is so fast, fun, colorful, teaches the player everything they need to know, it gives you more than enough rings to experience the special stage, and the music is iconic as iconic gets. I love playing this level, and it makes replaying the original Sonic a lot more fun than it should be. Then it's also one of the most popular levels in the series to speedrun, and trust me, I fall victim to that too. So with all of that going for it, why isn't it number 1? Well, with a certain series not appearing on the list yet, you can probably guess why. Or can you? Just kidding, let's get right to it. So, Mario hasn't appeared, and I bet a lot of you were wondering when it was gonna happen. Well, here you go. And at my number 1 spot, what else could it be than the one and only World 1-1? Right? Nah, that's not my number 1. While it is a fantastic level, I've gotta say that a different game did its job much better. To me, at least. That would have to be, for real this time, Bob-omb Battlefield from Super Mario 64. Yeah, I did it. I literally just said that I prefer Bob-omb Battlefield over the legendary World 1-1. Thought that was brave? Just you wait till we get to my later countdowns, but that's beyond the point. This level is flat out fun. The objective is simple, get the power star from the top of the mountain, but how you get there is completely up to you. Learn the controls by all the stuff the game throws at you, and as the first 3D game ever, you've got a lot to learn to master this new Mario. But yay for us, the level design really complements your first time playing. There are Goombas making you learn to jump on them, Koopa shells allowing you to ride them around in glorious 3D. There are all types of crazy enemies thrown at you. There are even some allies to talk to. It was all great. As you scale up the mountain, tons of boulders will be thrown at you, making you put your new 3D platforming skills to the quiz. Why not test? Well, it is the first level, so I mean, test is a little overkill. But anyways, you'll finally make it to the top at last, where King Bob-omb is waiting. Even though he literally tells you his one weakness, the battle is pretty tough since it's the first 3D game, so you have to think differently than the 2D ones. Then, once you throw him to the ground, you'll be given your star. I've gotta say, this had a lot to live up to. How would it teach you all the controls? And would it be any fun? Well, it wouldn't be on the top of my list for nothing. It's fun, teaches you the game's controls, and made you master the game's new controls for the rest of the adventure. It was so great that I couldn't put it anywhere else, even lower than World 1-1. And that'll have to do it for my top 10 favorite first levels in gaming. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate the patience and great feedback you guys are constantly giving me as my audience constantly grows with every countdown I make. But anyways, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more top 10s and 5s. So thanks again, I'll see you guys next time, and stay awesome!